Hey, what's up? This is CJ Pierce from Drowning Pool, and you listen to the Brutally Delicious podcast right here. Get you some.
1, 2, 3, 4. The Brutally Delicious podcast. The Brutally Delicious podcast. The Brutally Delicious podcast. The Brutally Delicious podcast.
Good to see you, my friend. Thanks for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Where are you guys at today?
Well, today, I'm off today. I'm off for the next week or two, and then we do a little 2-week run in August, and then we'll get on tour with Saliva September and October.
I was looking at that. You just came back from that Maryland show, right?
Yeah, it was the Maryland show, man. It was a really cool show, man. It was Rock the Mountains. They're doing a really good thing there. They started doing a bunch of local bands like 2 years ago, get together, and this is the first year they got some national acts on it, and they really blown it up to support the local community, man. They had a lot of pop-up tents and everything of local artists, you know, selling just whatever jewelry, hats, and things like that. So it's cool to see that put together and then have, you know, again,
a very community sort of feel.
Yeah, full community, man. I'm all about that, man. It helps out. There's a lot of local bands that opened up, a lot of great bands. So it's a cool opportunity for them to play and to get a lot of, you know, hopefully we brought a lot of people out there for them.
Nice. I saw that you're playing the Blue Ridge Festival as well coming up. So you're going to be back this way again. Yeah,
back to Blue Ridge, man. I love that festival. We did it a couple of years ago. We've done it a few times. I think it was maybe the first year, second year they did it. That's another festival that's blown up, man, over the years. Big time. It's come
I live right here. I live right here, and I've never been.
Oh, really? Oh, man. Well, come on. You know somebody that can get you tickets?
Yeah. I'm in Richmond. I need to get over there. Something always comes up, and I never make that one. But
yeah, it's a good one, man. It's a good one.
How are you guys dealing with this intense heat and this craziness going on?
Yeah, here in Dallas, Texas, it's pretty nuts. So, you know, again, with COVID and everything slowing stuff down the last 3 years, we haven't been able to tour as much. We're getting back on it now with Ryan McCombs. But in the meantime, my drummer and I used to do electrical work 20 years ago before, you know, we took off with everything. So here we are again on the off time doing some electrical work. So the building that I'm in now, I got the AC on like a couple days ago. But before that, man, we just been working in here. It's working inside of a building with no AC. It's a building's like 120 degrees inside. So
nice.
It's drinking a lot of water. And then when you get home, you just drink a lot of beer, and then there you go.
There you go. But even playing like that festival in Maryland, that had to be rough, right? Because it's 110 degrees out there. Yeah,
it was pretty warm out there, and it rained. Luckily, the rain went away before we went on. But dude, the humidity, you know, just that steamy hot coming up the cement, man. It's pretty wild. But I'm used to it, man. I spent all last summer. You know, we were supposed to do a bunch of things last summer that didn't happen, and I just wound up working in attics in Dallas, Texas. For a little bit, doing a little side work in people's attics. So I think it just kind of prepared me for what's happening now.
This is crazy.
It is, man. I definitely, I'd stay good with the water, man. You just got to constantly drink water, cold beer. Water and
cold beer, right? I need to regulate it better, though. I tend to drink more beer than water, so.
Right? Yeah, I got to get extra water in there.
Right. So what's it?
It's been good, man. It's been all right. It's bearable for me. Some people freak out about it, but
right.
I'm used to the heat.
What's it like having Ryan back in the band, and how did that actually come about?
Dude, it's so amazing having him back in the band. It's been a few months now. He came at the beginning of the year, and I'm still kind of blown away by it. You know, we had a great thing going years ago. It's just at that particular time, you know, 2010 to 2011, if you will. You know, he had a lot of personal things going on in his life. All of us did at that time. And in hindsight, you know, it probably would have been best for us if we would have just taken a break, maybe 3-month break or something like that, and regrouped instead of taking, you know, like 13 years off.
Right.
But, you know, we're all different people now, and it's been awesome. So he lives outside of London, and, you know, he's been living over there the last 5 years. And so we fly him in, he stays at my house, and I have the home studio and stuff. So since he's been back, man, it's like we didn't skip a beat. You know, we're just at the house, we're writing music again. We're having all these awesome shows. We're all in a great place, you know, just in life and mentally. So the music is just coming out like you wouldn't believe. you know, we had a record recorded before COVID, and we had to wait through that whole time to put it out. And then when we finally did, like always, you know, management label just failed us miserably. So, you know, we kind of came into 2023 thinking we might just be a 3-piece from here on out. But we had a lot of big shows coming up. Most notably, the show we did with Pantera. It was the first show, you know, as the Pantera now, you know, with Zach Charlie on the drums. So, you know, it was Stevie, our bass player, was like, well, I wonder what Ryan's been up to. I hadn't talked to him in a couple of years just to see what's up. He's like, hey, yeah, man, well, I'll come thinking we was going to do a show or two, like a reunion stuff.
Right.
And the second you walked in, man, it just clicked. But so, yeah, man, we're full steam ahead, man. It's awesome.
That's great. I've talked to him, I guess, years and years ago, and he was always such a pleasant guy to deal with and talk with. It's good that he's back with you guys.
Yeah, he's a great dude. Like I said, you know, again, it was 13 years ago, and I mean, we were just everybody had something going on personally. We should have just taken an extended break instead of a breakup situation. But you know, back then too, I was like, whoo, I was on 11. There was no water all year.
There wasn't a balance there, right?
Water. So now I get the water and get the head on straight. But no, great, man. I'm still blown away, and I'm excited about it. There's a lot of fun things happen. There's a song that we worked on called "Erase You" that wasn't finished. It was the last song we worked on together, and he happened to bring it up, and I did too. Something I kind of finished over the years, and now we're working on that together, which is pretty cool to have like that last thing. But I mean, there's a lot of new stuff going on as well, of course. But that song would be a fun one to put out. We want to get some new stuff out. In conjunction with the tour coming up with Saliva, it's just we want to do it the right way. I don't want to just rush and throw stuff out there, but we do have music written and ideas. It's a matter of just choosing which one we want to put the first, you know.
So are you guys always writing, and are you planning on a record, or are you going to do the single thing like the new music business?
You know, I'd like to get a couple songs out there first, drop off singles, because it's kind of weird the way it works now. You're right. It's back in the day, I guess maybe the 40s, 50s, they would put out singles, and after they had so many singles, they'd make a record.
Right.
And it just kind of seems like we're coming back around to that way of doing things, putting out a song. But again, we have a couple songs down. I like to just get a couple out there first, and then, you know, go back to traditional records.
I think you kind of have to, honestly, I'm not a fan of that model because I grew up probably like you did, you know, where you go to the record store and you buy the album and you sit down and listen to it the way you had it sequenced and whatever. And that's all gone, though, because people like my son, you know, they want the one song, maybe listen to 30 seconds of it, and they're moving on. So it's different.
Yeah, they move so fast. I'm like, I'm going to start writting 30-second songs. I'm still going to write how we write. That's our art. And I do, like you said, I love to sit down and grab like a record and just shut everything off for like the next hour of my life and just, you know, just dive into it and soak into it and soak it all up, man. I still like that, man. I still do that, man. My wife, she's amazing for that too. Like we'll have a certain times, so we do it at least once a week or twice a week. It's like, let's just sit down and listen to this whole record or that whole record.
What was the last record you threw on?
The last record I threw on, well, there is a band called it's Heart of the City. It's a friend of ours, Paco, that has a band, and he just had put out an album as well. So we were rocking out to that one. But I can't lie, like if you want to sit down and really just enjoy a record, like anything from Tool, man, like their record's almost like a movie, just listening to it.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites, man.
So for me, it was I don't know if you could see it, King's X.
Yeah, King's X, baby. Oh, dude, I love King's X.
Yeah, I just picked up this. I must have missed it because I'm a big fan, but Manic Moonlight a couple of years ago, I guess, or whatever. But I found it in a weird record store, and I love it.
Dude, I have the record player hooked up. I have a PA system, of course, in my living room next to the TV with 2,000 watt amp, and we sit there, we play the record through that and just crank it up
and just chill.
And just chill, man. I'm still in that mind frame. I love it. It's awesome. It's relaxing. I get the new world where it's like so much information, so many songs, skip through 30 seconds, but just stop for a minute and listen to the artist and their whole thing.
And also, I think along that same vein, there was an art in sequencing, right? There was an art in the way you put the record together and how it flowed and ebbed and flowed and did that whole thing. And that's missing when you just get one song. Yeah, you just get one song. Like you just sit there. If you really like an artist, man, just sit down and listen to it, because that's been the biggest thing. And actually, to be honest with Adrenaline Pool, that's probably been one of the, and I say arguments, not a fight. It's just everybody understands that we still, especially with the last record, we go over sequences. I'll line it up several different ways. All of us do that. We listen to it and get the flow. We always record more songs than you need for the record for that reason as well, because you want to have that flow, almost like it's a rock show set list.
And we have that. It's still important to me. I still want to do that. But like you said, coming in with Ryan is 2023. We're probably going to drop off a couple songs first.
Sure.
But we'll still I'm still going to make albums, man. It's just.
Did you ever imagine, I don't know how many years it is now, 30 years, that you'd still be doing this kind of stuff?
I always hope so. I've always wanted it. You know, I'm passionate about music. I love it. I love playing the rock show. I love everything that comes along with it. I love touring. I love meeting fans. I love every aspect of playing music. And I always hope, you know, it was a dream come true when we got signed back in 2000 and Bodies, Let the Bodies on the Floor, which I'm grateful and eternally grateful for. That song just keeps getting used for different things. I didn't realize it was going to be such a do what it's done over the years, man. It's like crazy videos made with that as the background music.
I'm just thinking about the old guy on America's Got Talent.
Oh yeah, he was awesome, man. He came up and we did open air in Chicago, open air festival a few years ago, and we brought him out on stage, and he actually sang it with us. And it was dude, it was wild, man.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah, it was funny, man. He's a cool dude. I'm hoping to do another show with him again. He did 2 or 3 shows with us just on the fly. We happened to be close to where he lived, and he showed up like, "Hey, man, jump on stage, let's do it." That was a funny one too, man.
Is he a fan, or is he just picked that song out of nowhere?
Oh, I mean, we're all friends and family now, man. It's
right.
It's been years and years, but he does karaoke stuff on the weekends, and that was one he picked, and everybody love it. And that's kind of how that popped up. And dude, that next day after that aired, I mean, I got so many calls and texts. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Because I hadn't seen anything.
Right, I imagine.
I couldn't stop laughing. So it's cool, man. People have a lot of fun with the song, man. That's all it is. It's a lighthearted song. It's rock and roll. The Bodies on the Floor. It's nothing, brutal about it. It's just about stage diving and jumping around, which they don't let us do as much anymore. But I still get out every now and then and jump off. I'm not gonna lie.
So, what does a Drowning Pool show look like nowadays? Because it's got to be multi-generational, right?
It is now, man. And so great. Here's a great example. When we did the Pantera show a few weeks ago, it was us and Pantera, and I was out in the crowd, of course, watching, Pantera like a fan, and to see, a lot of, fathers of my age and, all the, 10-year-old, young rockers out there getting into it. It was really, really awesome because you see that look on their face, like, oh my God, the lights and the fire and just metal and everybody sing along. It's not, it's funny how people perceive metal. It's actually, it's a family show, believe it or not. I know it's metal. I know the lyrics are brutal, but dude, everybody's having a great time. Everybody leaves smiling. Everybody has an awesome time. So it's cool to see.
Blowing off steam and then leaving with a good time.
Yeah, you're blowing off steam in a great way. And it's wild too, because I've had people come up to me like, yeah, I learned how to count 4, in the backseat of the car when my parents were playing Bodies. And this is like a 21-year-old, drinking a beer next to me. I'm like, what year is this? How old am I again?
That's funny. All right, so I got to ask, what was Pantera like?
Pantera was great, man. I know, people have said a lot of stuff about it.
There's a lot of controversy, right?
Phil and X, so it's Rex and Phil, it's a reunion of those 2 guys coming together, but it's a hats off to Pantera and what it was about. Of course, Dime and Vinny were a big part of that. Personal friends. I've had a lot of times. Actually, we toured together back in the early days with Drowning Pool. And I've known Zach forever, and we know Charlie forever. What better person to pick? And I was actually hanging out with Zach, and it's Zach Wild. Zach does Zach. Dime did Dime, and nobody's ever going to play Dime like Dime.
But I think he might be the closest to it.
It's the closest thing you're going to get to it. And, we were talking about it because every now and then I'll get called up and, on stage and I'll do some Pantera covers. So I stay up on my chops. But him and I, Zach and I were talking about certain things that Dime did. And we're like, what the hell is he doing right here, man? Was he completely drunk or was he just a genius? Like, why would you do that, And Zach's like, there's 1 or 2 things I'm not sure what he's doing, man. I'm just going to play a solo. I said, it's a guitar solo, man. Do your thing. You're doing it great. Everybody wants to give. I don't know why would you give shit, because the show was great, and you keeping that music alive, and you keeping that what Dime and Vinny brought to the stage, and they nailed it to me. Phil sounded great. He never sounded better. The show was amazing. They let us use a lot of their toys.
Nice.
So our show was amazing.
And Charlie's one of the best.
Yeah, he's one of the best, dude. And they took time and they nailed it, man. Like, go see the show. Just go see it. You have to see it, and you'll know when you're there, man.
That's good to hear, because I know it's gotten a lot of bad press along the way, and I have no hatred towards it. I want to see it, actually. Yeah,
it's so great, dude. I hope they keep going with it.
And I'm guessing they play all the hits like Cemetery Gate and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but the thing they did with Cemetery Gate's not to take away from the show, but that was kind of the tribute area of the show. And dude, they had me in tears, man. They had everybody in tears. And I'm like, it's just sand outside. I mean, it's just wind's blowing. There's no pride in rock and roll, you know. But they did it. They did it justice. They did a really good tribute to them. And while Cemetery Gates was playing in the background, so you hear Cemetery Gates, and Zach did some stuff along with it, some solo stuff. It was tasteful. It was very tasteful. Like,
and that's cool because I know you said you know those guys, and I guess there's the Texas connection, right? Because you're all from there.
Yeah, my drummer Mike Lewis and I moved to. We're from New Orleans, and we moved to Dallas in mid '90s. Which, come to find out, Phil was from New Orleans. He moved there as well, and that's when Pantera. So we've always had a connection. There was the good, Dave Williams that actually introduced us to Diamond Vinny back then because he was already friends with them, and that's I know Rex, Phil, but I've mostly hung out with those two, especially Mike Lewis and myself. We were kind of kicking it when they were get Damage Plan together, and we were doing our second record tour.
Right.
It was awesome to get the tour with them. By the end of the tour, though, man, I was kind of like, "Here comes Dom. You better hide, man, because you're gonna get wasted the second he grabs you." It's like, "Oh, let's do it."
He was really lived up to his name, huh?
He lived up to it, man, every second of it. And, again, it's to him 24/7. You're on tour every second. It's entertainment. It's a rock show. It's fireworks and alcohol and good times, man.
What was his, was it the Blacktooth Grin?
The Blacktooth, man, is a Crown Royal with a little splash of Coca-Cola in it just to take the little bite edge off. And that was this thing to do, man. But every now and then, you have somebody or somebody would be, this was far and few between. I'm just going to share one story. I thought it was funny. But you had like a knucklehead come up on the bus or somebody weird. So he would take a shot. He would make shots and he would put one in the microwave and warm it up for the guy to be a knucklehead and hand him a warm shot.
Oh,
and you
Jesus.
just like,
And the tour you got coming up with Saliva is going to be cool too, right? Because it's great to see them back out on the road.
It's going to be so great with Saliva. Now, yes, obviously Saliva's had some changes throughout the years, but Saliva it's a Saliva that evolved that's been Saliva for a very long time. It's tough one too, man, because I was really good friends with Wayne. Like
Right.
we took off on tour. We always talked about writing together, and I feel so bad now that I didn't have a chance to write a song with Wayne. But he was a great friend, a great influence. I've known him since I met him at WrestleMania 18 is when we first did a show with Saliva.
Right.
And we've done tours and shows off and on together throughout the years. It's been a while since we toured together. And they have a new song out there on the record, and here we are with Ryan again, and we have some new stuff that's coming out. So it makes sense, man. And we're gonna be flip flopping. It's co-headline every night. So depending on what night.
Yeah, I saw that announcement. It said, "Man, that's a perfect compliment."
Yeah, man. They're like, "No, you headline," and we're like, "Same thing." No, you guys headline. So like, "Oh, we'll take turns." Mad respect to each other, but we're both putting on the full show.
Right.
So. We're going to try to make shows are earlier during the week, too, because we know people got to go to work and stuff. So I'm not going to try to keep you out till midnight. We're going to try to keep it earlier so we can get everybody in. So you still got time to go home and rest up. Yeah, because
getting back to what you said, you've been in this a long time and we're all getting older. How do you prepare differently for hitting the road again? Because we're not young kids anymore, right?
I'd like to prepare and work out and eat healthy, but I just kind of go with it. It's still, I can still get up. I'm 50 and I can still kick. Come on.
Right.
All these are jumping off the risers and stuff. I'm not gonna lie. I can feel it in the ankles and the knees and stuff, but that adrenaline gets cooking, man. The rock show's on. I'm just going 100% every time, man. And we all do. We might cry a little bit, moan after the show, like just a little bit, but
right. And the next morning. I would wake up all stiff and not be able to move the next morning.
Yeah, it's like anything. Usually that first week, it takes a little bit to settle in because it's not like I jump around the house and jump. Maybe I should do that the week before.
Right.
Off everything, all the furniture and stuff. And get myself ready for jumping off the cabinets. And
while you're listening to your record with your wife, you could be, practicing.
Yeah, I could be doing that. I did. When we warmed up for these, the first couple shows at Ryan, I was out in my garage, and it was so cool because it was like so old school. I have because like the kids got to go to bed and stuff.
Right.
But they gotta get ready for I'm going out to play some shows. So I set up in the garage and I'm out there just rocking out like I was 19 years old all over again. So it's definitely keeping it real, man.
So what do you guys have next after the Saliva run? Is that going to take you to the end of the year?
Yeah, we do some U.S.O shows again. We do a lot of stuff with the troops, and usually 3 or 4 times a year we go overseas and do Iraq, Kuwait.
You guys have been doing that a lot, right?
So we've done it a lot. With COVID, it slowed down a little bit, but last year we started getting on it again. They started to let us go places. So we have some shows. They don't always like to tell us exactly where we're playing for whatever reason, but we definitely will be like around Poland and Germany, doing bases over there. We have bases. But
so
we usually
do you just get on a plane and you end up somewhere?
Well, they let us know, but they were not supposed to say where we're
Gotcha.
going until in case of somebody. I don't know why it would be an issue for it, but maybe that's just how it was before because we started back in 2005. It was the first time we did, and it was an active war at the time, and people actually did try to shoot at us while we were playing the shows. Yeah, man, I see video of them stopping. You know, they're trying to set up mortars outside the bases to shoot them over to where we were playing. Like,
Oh my God.
yeah, you know, it's
Had you known about that while you were on stage, or that's something you found about afterwards?
I found out afterwards, but I knew that was a possibility. But we have the Army as our, like, you know,
Right.
that's our bodyguards are the United States Army. So they weren't going to let the show, they weren't going to let them shut down the show, man, which they didn't. But no, man, I gladly do that. You know, you got to have, you know, I don't think anybody in their right mind is for war. I think we all want to get along and have a good time, but we still have to have a place and our, you know, we have to respect the armed forces for what they do, man. They give up a lot of their time and their lives. And that's what we're doing over Christmas. So we're going during Christmas and New Year's. New Year's Day is my daughter's birthday, and this is the first time I'm going to miss it. But family understands, like, we're going to go there and play for the troops and give them a Christmas and a New Year's for them, because we're going to bring the rock show. They can't be home. So yeah, it's a great, I love doing it.
Enjoyable for you as well? I know the troops must love it, but you guys dig it as well?
Oh man, it's the best feeling in the world, man. And that energy you get from the show is like none other. Because again, like shows like in Iraq and Kuwait, the bases we still have there, they're out there for a year, and you feel pretty far away. You feel like you're on another planet. You don't even feel like you're on Earth anymore. You're out in the middle of a desert, and you know there's nothing to do for, like, you know, some people there for a year, 2 years.
Right.
So for us to come over and it's like bring a rock show to them, man, you feel that energy and release. Plus, it gives them a mental break from what they're doing. Like,
oh yeah.
It's like, you know, like I'm at home at a rock show for a few hours, and then, you know, it really helps.
That's great. That's going to bring me to the end of my my questions. Did I miss anything?
Oh no, man! I thought we were going to talk about food and stuff too.
I got to get you on the show. I've been trying to reach out to you guys. It used to be a cooking show. That's what this whole thing was. And I had people used to, when they were in Richmond, they would stop at the house and we would cook, and we would just do the same interview, but we would be making whatever, grandma's lasagna or something.
Dude, I would love to do that. Yeah, stay in touch with you know.
But then COVID hit and nobody wanted, you know, that everything changed. Nobody was coming to the house anymore, so I pivoted. I've been thinking about doing it like a remote thing, like having the artist make something at the house with a list of questions and answering them on camera.
Yeah, remote, man. I was already talk about my shrimp etouffee and stuff.
Yeah. Are you a big? Oh, from New Orleans, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, we'll get together and do that. And I was going to go over my recipe and everything. You know, I can't obviously cook right here, but maybe next time we'll get together, man. It's everybody has their own way of doing it, but I grew up cooking a lot with the family. I mean, life is kind of fast, so it's, you know, fast food here and there. But whenever I get a chance to cook, I love it, man.
Yeah, same here. I'm not a big fast food fan, but like you're right. You know, you have to, on the way to soccer practice, something you have to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
I like to sit, and that was the genesis of the whole cooking thing, and it worked out so well. And everybody came here. You know, we had Megadeth, we've had Dave Ellefson, we've had everybody here, and then you know, then everything happened.
Right. Well, let's try. Hey, we'll try to kick it off again, because I'm all about it, man. I'll come to the house. I'm cool. I'll bring.
I would love it. And maybe if not, we can try and do something remotely, because that would still be cool.
We can do that remotely too, man. Maybe I'll even get Doug Chachery on the show. I'm friends with the Chacherys.
Oh, really?
Just so the years, he always hooks me up with the spices. So I have my spice cabinet is just like, got like everything from Tony's up in it.
I'll hit up Shauna again, and maybe we can make something happen.
Definitely, man.
That's great. Thank you, my friend. I really appreciate you taking the time. Longtime fan.
Yeah, come on out to the show. If we're around, man, we'll hook it up.
I'm going to try and get out to the Blue Ridge.
Okay, yeah. Tell Sean to hit us up, and I'll put you on a list. And if I can't get you on a list, I will sneak you in the back door. It's one of my favorite things to do.
You got a deal, my friend. Be well.
All right. Have a good one, man. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.